Hey, what's up? Nathan here, and we're racing in a cross-country race today, and it's gonna be a blast. So, the race that I'm gonna be racing in, if you don't already know from that intro, Desert Twilight Invitational up in Phoenix, and sponsored by Nike, big time event. Probably my favorite race when I was in high school to race cross-country wise. Super good course. They've really upgraded it from what it used to be. My junior cross-country season, I actually slipped and fell about halfway through, and it was just rocks, and I just skid on my leg. But this nice, clean golf course, just out, back, finish, nice 5K route. So I'm really excited for this. I'm kind of treating it like just a not a tune-up race, because I'm not training for anything else, but more of just to see where my fitness is. And so I don't have tons of huge goals going into this. I've been doing a couple of workouts. I just want to see where my fitness is and jump in a big race because I miss racing cross country. I am super grateful that my knee seems to be holding up. So right now it's Friday, early afternoon. Wednesday, I was on a run. I did an 8-mile workout, doing some hills and some strides, just getting used to race pace. And I got seriously within a mile of the house, stopped at a stoplight, waited for a couple minutes until I was able to cross. And when I crossed, I don't know if I just started up too quickly, but my knee just gave out. And so I limped back home and I was like, oh dear, this is not good. But this morning, tried it out a little bit, did a couple strides, some easy miles, and I think it's holding up. By that, on Tylenol and Icy Hot and ice packs, but hopefully it should be good. I don't want to push myself too hard. It was quite an expensive and hefty entry fee into this meet, and you can't get a refund. So I'm racing it either way, and it's going to be fun, so stick around. All right, so the race fit, we just got a Nike running singlet, and then for the shorts, you'd think that they're Aeroswift. No, they're actually a slight off-brand, but seriously, you could not tell the difference in this fabric. The waistband, everything is top-tier quality. So if you want me to make a video about these, because I got them for less than 70% off what you would normally pay for a pair of Aeroswift tights, and these I see absolutely nothing different except that there's a different logo on them. But comment if you want me to make a video about how I got those. Now the fun, interesting part is, what am I gonna be racing in? Or what's gonna be on my feet? All right, so you probably saw last track season, I raced in some blue Dragonflies. Loved them, I just don't want to dirty them up too much. Also, spikes aren't allowed on this course. And so we're gonna have to go with the OG. Actually, my first pair of Nike Dragonflies were the orange ones, and those were amazing. I ran my first sub 445 mile in them. My first pair of like actual super spikes. And then I got these for senior year track, and then I used them for half of when I was in college, alternating with streak flies that I also have. But they still have their spikes in them. I'm gonna have to take these out. They are quite, as you can just see, worn very. This is kind of funny. So it was at some meet. It was the Steve Reeder one up at Utah State. But some icy got all over them. So they are a little bit crunchy. They're going to have to do, and I don't really have a way of testing them out before I get onto the grass. If you didn't know, I live in Arizona, which there is no grass. Our backyard is rocks and bricks. So I'm gonna get these spikes out, maybe just put them on, the same size 10, so they fit. I'm just excited. Two of them that are stripped, so we're gonna have to pry them out. We got it out, finally. Feeling pretty good. Definitely look quite beat up, but they should do the job. They are a little bit tighter for some reason than the other ones, but they're both size 10. Maybe these have just been well used. I don't know. The last race that I wore these was a 15:55 5K. Still my current 5K PR. So I don't know if we're gonna be setting a record in these things today or a personal record, but last time I was wearing them, 5:10 per mile felt pretty good. So I don't know, we're gonna see. If I had to put a guess, I'd like 16:30, 16:40, I'd be happy with. Pre-race just for lunch today. Just simple, ramen. Now I know what you're thinking, ramen, not the best food to have pre-race. Well, in my opinion, it's carbs, it's electrolytes. I only use 1 packet of salt, so it's a lot of salt, but I do 2 packets of the ramen, so that's 104 grams of carbs. Only 1 of the packets, so that's only 33% of your daily sodium. Just get some electrolytes in. Closer to the race, like about maybe 3 hours before, My pre-race meal is either a Subway or a Jimmy John's turkey and cheese sandwich with some lettuce. Just something easy to go down, some good carbs, some good proteins, and then we're ready to rip. See, the thing I'm liking about this right now is there's seriously no stress. Like, I'm still, no matter what, gonna get butterflies at the starting line, but you know, it's a community race, kind of like a 5K, just a community 5K on a cross-country course. So I don't even know what the competition's gonna be like. I remember my senior year of cross-country with my best friend in high school, Declan Jorgensen. Since he transferred high schools, he couldn't compete for half the season, so he had to race in this community race. I think he took like 7th in around 1630 or 1628-ish, something like that. So we'll see how it goes. Race, we're having a Subway sandwich, turkey, lettuce, cheese, nice and simple. All right, we are here. It is 98 degrees and it is 7:30 at night. So this is gonna be an interesting race. It is toasty, it is hot, but we are ready to race. We finally found the bib check in place, so we're gonna get our bib on and time to warm up. Let's thank my camerawoman, I mean, Rachel, the best sister in the world, for my brother's race, the championship. Let's go, John and his team. Let's go, Jack! Let's go, Jack! Come on, John, come on! Stay relaxed! Let's go! Come on, Jack! Let's go! Come on, keep riding! Come on, John! You look good, you look good! Come on, Jack! Lead everything! Lead everything! Let's go, John! Let's go! Catch that! Catch that! Catch that! It is so hot and humid right now. It is 97 degrees at 9:58 at night. This is insane. And oh man, what a race. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later, but I finished Desert Twilight 2024. Just had someone ask me if I was a sophomore or a junior in high school. Not quite either. I guess that's what happens when you've got a young 20-year-old face and you look like a high schooler. We are driving back. It's midnight. We still got an hour to go back to Tucson, but stop for a QT slushy, best post-race hydration and a little bit of sugar, but still crazy how hot it is. Like, I haven't checked since 11 o'clock, but it was 90 degrees at 11 o'clock. It's crazy. All right, it's been a couple of days after the race, so let's take some time to kind of take apart that race, talk about the pros, the cons, things I want to improve, the things I did well, kind of just the whole experience. So this was my first cross-country race since October of last year, and this was the first time I'd raced a cross-country 5K, actually, since my senior year of high school. So it's been pretty much had been almost 2 years since I'd raced a cross-country 5K, because at the college level, I raced 6Ks, I raced 7Ks,
And so I never did a race that was only a 5K in distance. This one, I specifically wanted to do this one because I knew it was going to be a fast course, and my siblings were running in it with their cross country high school team, and I thought it'd just be cool to run their same race. I was going to be running before them, so I could let them know how the course was, how it was, and give them a little bit of advice, and just be there to cheer them on. So when we got there, like you saw before, it was 98 degrees, and my race didn't go off until, I think, 8:40. My siblings didn't race until 9 and 9:20, and it was still well over 95 degrees that whole time. You know, the sun was down, but just the heat that was coming up from the grass at that golf course was insane. And so after tons of chaos and eventually finding where I was supposed to get my bib, got my bib, warmed up, got to the start line, and just took off. And there was a guy on the Ironwood Ridge team, shout out Diego, I'll give you a shout out. Due to transfer rules, he can't compete with the team for like half the season. That same thing happened with my teammate Declan. And so he had to race in the community race with me as well. So he wanted to break 17. I was like, hey, I'll give it a shot. I'll try to break 17. So I went out with him. He gunned it, man. He gunned it. So I kept my distance quite a bit. I went through the mile in 5:13. And here, let's just put the race off to the side here. So going through the mile in 5:13, I felt relaxed. Now my form doesn't look relaxed. I'm flopping around my arms. I'm really working on trying to keep relaxed and enhancing my core, really building strength and stuff like that, so I have better form and better running mechanics. But nonetheless, went through the first mile, 5:13, feeling relaxed. And then that second mile, maybe I just forgot how long a 5K was, because I was racing 800s and 1500s last track season. But that 2 mile marker just took forever to reach, and my pace just kept slowing and slowing and slowing. Went through the 2 mile at 9:40, or not 9:40, oh, that'd be generous, like 10:40-ish, something around there. My mile split, no, it must have been slower than that. I don't know, I can't do math in my head right now, but second mile was a 5:43, and so I definitely fallen off the pace. Then I was just out of it, you know, I knew I was out of being in like 16:30 range, so I was like, okay, let's just focus on breaking 17. So I went through that 2 mile marker, and the whole course was pretty much flat. But the thing that got me, I wore my Dragonflies without spikes, like I said. Remember, actually, you were allowed to wear spikes on the course, and it would have been heavily needed. Like, the fairways, beautiful, but they were too spongy. I needed something to grip, and so I could just feel myself slipping with each step, losing a centimeter each step. You add that over a 5K, I probably lost quite a bit of distance. Not that it's an excuse, but it was just putting extra weight and strain on my quads. I just need those spikes. And there were a couple kind of quick downhills and uphills. I used those to get a lot of momentum, but the finishing stretch was probably 1,000 meters straight ahead. Like, I could see the finish line for forever, and it just took so long to eventually get there. And you know the finishing time, 17:10. Not crazy proud of it, but you know, it shows where I am. And now I can judge my workouts. My knee has been feeling pretty good. Well, to be exact, it's 5 days after that race. And it was feeling good for 4 days. Went on a run yesterday, and it gave out on me again. This time, not within half a mile from my house. This time, 3 miles away. So I walked like a mile back. Granny jogged the little way back, but it's painful. And so I don't know what the issue is, but I'm toning down the running mileage, trying to get to the gym more, just fixing my posture, my running strength, things like that. Just, you know, I want to look good. That's the difficult thing I'm realizing, is you can't build muscle and run 40 miles a week at the same time. Like, unless you're just eating a crap ton of food and getting crazy amount of sleep at night, those two just can't exist in the same universe. So I'm trying to bring down the running a little bit so I can add in the gym to build a little bit of muscle and strength. But all in all, fun race. Very fun race. And to watch the sweepstakes race, guy ran 14:41, I think it was. That's absolutely insane for a high schooler. That's crazy. So I just had a great time. Shout out to my siblings and the Ironwood Ridge cross country team that all did amazing in that insane Arizona heat. So thank you so much for sticking around and watching the video. Also, please consider subscribing because I've got 2 trips planned for the next 2 weeks. One, up to Utah, so we're going to do some fun, beautiful runs up there with the autumn leaves. But the second, I'm going to leave it as a surprise, but we might be leaving the country. Subscribe and turn on notifications for when those videos come out. But as you already know, my name's Nathan. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for watching.